Welcome back, guys. Today is December 6th, 2017, and it was day 41 of my paper trading account. And it was a great day for me. I had one trade today. I traded the same stock twice, but it was just one name that I was watching and that I ended up taking a trade on, and it was amazing. That just goes to show that my accuracy was great today. Out of those two trades, obviously the winner was huge, and the loser, the trade I lost money on, I lost, I think it was $50 that I lost in total on that, and versus making 450 on the trade and then losing 50. It's obviously I didn't want to lose that on purpose. I just thought something it was setting up for another opportunity, another leg up, and I jumped in and it just didn't pan out. And as soon as I realized the weakness, I bailed out. So and I also will go over the trade in a second, but the reason I like trading, one or two names only. I like to see on my P&L, one or two trades. No, nothing more than that. Some days, if you go back on my videos where I have some bad days, or I lost some money, or even if I made some money, but I lost a lot in commission, was because I was taking huge sizes, large sizes on, and going for very minimum, wins, like 5 cents, 7 cents wins. So basically just scalping with huge size. So although overall I had a green day with my commissions, I've had days where my commissions were $80. I think 80 or 100 was the highest day I've had with commissions, but that was because, or it was more than that actually. I've had some with 120, 140 in commissions alone, and that's just because I was taking huge size, and I was going in and out of too many trades, and basically my order, my execution list right here with all my orders was just filled. I had to scroll down to it's just not the way I like trading. I want to have one or two trades, and I want to have good accuracy. Even if I only walk away with $50 or $100, that's fine by me, as long as I did it on a name or on a stock, or I did it using the strategy or a setup that I like, because that shows me that I'm doing something right. I'm doing something following the rules. I'm not kind of all over the place. I'm not just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping something sticks. I'm sticking to my rules and doing things that feel like I've practiced, I've looked over. I'm trading the names that I potentially feel like have opportunities in them and could run. So anyways, we'll go over the trade here. Since we only have one trade, this video won't be so long. I just want to say, guys, if you guys are watching my, if you guys do continuously watch this, click the link in my description there, and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And I usually try to post videos. Over the past couple weeks, I didn't because of my, screen recorder, and the software that I was using was giving me trouble. But now I'm using my MacBook, and this way I can also post a video as well with my webcam, and this is my documentation of my journey, guys. This is obviously, I'm not super fancy right now. I'm not, there's no intro, there's no crazy stuff going on with my channel right now, because I only started this channel earlier this year, and obviously I didn't post every day. In the beginning I did, and then I've been on and off with posting on here. But now that I'm paper trading, I've been trying to post more often, and just documenting my journey of understanding how to walk around, or how to what's the word, you get the point, like how to maneuver my way into the markets, and how to figure out what I wanna achieve from this, and so on. So obviously nothing's fancy right now. I'm obviously paper trading, so the profits you're seeing is not money going into my pocket. It's just fake money. But I'm still treating it like my real account. I'm still very happy that I'm building on this account, and learning, and starting to see some good progress. And I'll also pull my let me just pull my monthly P&L here. So as you guys can see here, I like this lightning, by the way. That looks good. Maybe I should have some light in here. I'll turn it on. There you go. So as you guys can see here, and we'll go over, I did this recap a couple videos ago, but we'll kind of take 5 minutes here and do this. Look at my October. This is when I started paper trading, and look at how many red days there are. I was losing $800 on this day. It's 270, 225, and then 620 and 755 and 130 and 368 versus my winners, $44. I had this one big one here, but 432, 185. So on and off, ended the month with 368. Now compare that with November. I've only had 5 red days in November. Over the whole month, I traded, except these 4-5 days, I traded the rest of the month, and I only had 5 red days, sorry. And then now you can also compare my red days to my green days, like 195, but then I had a 686 win, 125, and I had another 686, $70, 358, 130, and then this huge loss kind of put me away from my monthly goal. I feel like if I didn't have this huge loss, I probably would have hit that monthly goal in the month of November. But that's all right. I'm not upset about that. I think that loss was well needed for me, because after that I kind of switched couple things. I decided not to be too aggressive on the days or on the weeks that I know the markets are slow. When we get that momentum back, like the first 2 weeks of November momentum back into the markets, I will definitely go aggressive, and I'll try to have days like these, or over $1,000 days. But I'm not that's not the end goal. That's not what I when I wake up in the morning and I do my prep in the morning. That's not my goal to have $1,000 day. My daily goal is only 150. That's a very, very basic goal, especially with the amount I'm trading right now in my paper trading account. I have lots of buying power, but having a small goal like that keeps me, down. So even if in December, sorry, on Friday, the first of the month, I only made 160. And I didn't overtrade that. I was happy with that 160 because I hit my daily goal and I walked away. Now, compared to on this past Monday, I only made $40. And that's fine by me as well, because I still managed to walk away green from the market. And me walking away green from the market and having the right mindset, bringing that mindset over on Tuesday, helped me make that 560. Because when I came on Tuesday, my first trade, and I just posted a video actually on my channel, so go check it out. I posted a video about yesterday's recap on Tuesday's recap, which was day 40 of my paper trading account, and I made 560, but I started the day with a $90 loss. So my first trade, I lost 90, but I stayed calm and collective, and then I managed to have a great end to my day. Same thing with today. Today, coming back from yesterday's win, I was in the right mindset. I knew I could maneuver my way around the markets. I knew what I was looking for. I didn't panic. I didn't jump into random trades. I didn't try to chase anything. I didn't try to hurry. As soon as the bell rang, I didn't jump into a trade. My first trade today, we'll go over. Sorry, my first trade today was at 7:55. That was my first trade today. So I waited almost 30 minutes after the market opened to make my first trade. And there was few things that moved and few things that spiked up and faked out and so on and so on. I waited for a good entry, and we'll go over the trade now just so you guys can see. And this is DPW. I still don't know what happened here. I tried looking over on Twitter, see if somebody mentioned why this dropped, all the way from 5s down to 2. So I don't know what happened with this stock, but yesterday, it was moving up. So let's pull out the daily first here, just because you guys will get a better idea of what the daily looks like, and then we can go over. Let's just move this down. So right here, as you guys can see, the daily, past couple days, it gapped up, moved up, and then yesterday made a new high. And on the daily as well, if you guys kind of see here, let's just back it up here. So as you guys can see, this is like, we're going back till 2013, and this is the high, like the new fresh high. The stock has never been in the 5s before, or maybe, from what I can see up till, 2013, it hasn't been in the 5s. So these are obviously fresh highs, right? So every time it makes a new high, it's a new 52-week, 2-year, 3-year fresh high, and that really matters, right? Because that shows there's a lot of momentum coming in. There's a lot of people trading this. And yesterday, if you guys look at the volume, yesterday the volume, we had close to 50 million in volume, and then today we had 69.57 million in volume. So obviously this is very heavily traded today. A lot of volume came in, and that's what I took advantage of, and that's why I had it on my watch list. That's what I was watching it at the market open. So basically, yesterday made a new high, went up to the 420s. Pre-market, it kind of, the high was, I believe, let's see, the high, pre-market high was 450-ish. We'll move this down just so we can see the time and stuff, or sorry, the price and stuff. So just around here, and I don't think my chart's showing the full thing, but I believe the high was around 450 pre-market. And I caught that on, I usually go on YouTube live. There's a couple people who do live pre-market watch list and stuff. So I go on there, and that's where I saw somebody mention it was 450. So anyways, that's what I was watching for. Now, when the market opened, obviously before the market opened, started dipping here. And we'll just kind of zoom in. So it started dipping down, and then it popped over. And now I was watching it on 5 minute basically, right? It popped over, and I think on 1 minute there was an good entry point, a 1 minute pullback, which I would have traded if I kind of was watching it right in the morning. Like right here, I was actually watching it. I just didn't jump in, and I missed that opportunity to take that trade. So right here on the 1 minute, I saw this, and I was like, you know what? It looks like it's holding its gain. If it gets back over this 410 level, we could potentially get a run up, and we did. I just missed that trade, and I didn't take it. At that time, I think I was watching ACS or ASTC because it got halted, and I was watching that at that time. So I missed this, but I was still watching it move. I didn't want to jump in because ASTC, I think, was getting out of halt like in a minute or so. So I was just kind of putting my focus on that, but that's all right. I missed that opportunity. I didn't panic, although I started to see it run. I didn't chase it. I didn't buy anywhere for the break of 450 or anything like that. I was like, you know what? Let it breathe. I'll wait to see if it breaks it, and if it runs without me, you know what? That's fine. It's just a missed opportunity. At least I'm not putting myself in a spot where I could lose money. I'm just missing an opportunity. I'll get it again. If I don't have any trade today, I'll get one tomorrow. That's fine. So we'll go to the 5 minute because that's where I moved in on it. Now, 5 minute, as you guys can see here, it moved, and it was basically, had this spike up, from the low of 375 all the way to the high of 448. Now, obviously, it hasn't broken $half point, and that's what I was looking for when I jumped in on it. I was looking for a move back up to the high of day for the break of high of day and the break of $half mark, which was apparently also the pre-market high. And then if it breaks that, then we get this leg up. And so I jumped in right here, basically right here on this 5 minute pullback in the first candle to make a new high. And I believe my first entry was 428, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just take a look here. My 427 was my entry, and then we'll go back onto the chart just so you guys can see. So 427 was my entry, just somewhere around here. I jumped in with 1,000 shares. Again, I took a with this I could have gone with 2,000. I could have gone with 3,000. I had enough buying power, but since the stock has moved up so much, and it wasn't the cleanest 5 minute pullback, just because of these wicks, these huge, usually I like to see this move up. I would love to see this candle kind of stay between this range, maybe between 433 to like 420, and then this potential candle kind of stay between that 420 to like 415 range, and then the next candle to make a new high would jump in. Now, obviously, I missed that on the 1 minute. Now, on the 5 minute, I didn't think it was the cleanest 5 minute setup, but I still realized that there was potential just because there was a lot of volume coming in. The stock was still holding its gain, and especially this candle. If this candle basically would have closed red, if it closed around 4, I probably wouldn't have jumped in on this. Just because this candle got pushed up, meaning that buyers came in, and then the next candle to open up made a new high. That's when I jumped in at 1,000 shares, 427. It's still very, very keeping my size in mind. I wasn't, just losing concept of whether this was a clean 5 minute or not. I still kept that in mind. So I only went in with 1,000 shares. Jumped in 427, and then we started getting this pop. It kind of held, actually it stood around this level for a couple, 10 seconds or so, around 425, 426. So I was kind of worried. I was like, it might fail here. So I was ready to bail out if it did. If it basically, the candle went red for below 420, I probably would have bailed out. But it managed to stay above, and then volume started coming in, and we started seeing this movement. I was like, okay, nice, I like it. As soon as we went for this break of of the high of day to make this new high, I jumped in again 1,000 shares. So that's when I added to my position, and that's what you call scaling up, and that's a good thing, because now I'm buying 2,000 shares. I'm adding on a position on a point where I would have bought if I didn't have any position at all. And I made a video back in maybe last week or a couple weeks ago. I can't remember exactly when it was, but I had a trade where I jumped in and I scaled in, but it wasn't the right place to scale in, and then I scaled in again where I should have scaled in. So what I mean by that is, every time you scale in, you only want to buy where you would have bought if you had zero position. So if I had no position in the stock and I didn't buy anything here, most likely I would have bought on the break of high of day and the break of the $0.50 mark, because there's a lot of volume coming in. It looked strong. I would have definitely got in somewhere around here, but I would have got in with 1,000 shares. My goal would have been 10 cents, 15 cents max, and that's how much it moved. Maybe I would have sold if it looked a little weak in the 460s. I would have probably gone out like 455, 457, something like that, right? Locking in 10 cents, 7 cents, 5 cents, something like that. Obviously that would not have been a great trade, just because it didn't have enough room to run. But the thing is, this is the first time the stock is going up this much, so it potentially has the room to run. You know what I mean? This is the freshest high that in the market open. This was a fresh high, so this could have gone to 5. This could have gone to 7, or wherever. There was nobody stopping it up there. Obviously short sellers probably came in and shorted it, but there was no bag holders. There was no people waiting to sell to break even at that point. It was just buyers could have taken over. So that's where I added another 1,000 shares at 448, and I think that brought my average to 438 with 2,000 shares. And then I sold 1,000 at 457, and then I sold the other 1,000 at 463. Just to confirm those levels. What I just said. Let's just go here. So 427, 448, then I sold 1,000 at 457 and 1,000 at 463. So I was correct. So that's what I did on that trade, on that first original trade. I scaled up, sold half, then sold the other half, and I kind of top ticked it there, just as it was basically reaching the top just in the morning. Obviously, the later rest of the day ended up grinding higher, but just for that meat of the move, just for that momentum trade at that near the market open, the first 30 minutes, I took advantage of that move and I sold pretty much at the top. Just because the reason I sold there at 463 was because as this candle went back up, I just felt like, this is the fresh high. I want to see it basically keep moving up. I want to see 470, 475, 480. And if I'm not seeing that, and we're starting to see some sellers starting to come in, I'm just going to lock in my gains and let this stock do what it wants to do. And then maybe I'll look for another opportunity. And that's exactly what I did. I sold 1,000. I sold my position there. And I made 450 on that name. I was up and I was happy. Then I still watched it because I felt like, this stock still has potential. It still has its strength. It's still holding up its gains, especially with this candle, these two candles. It was holding up its gains. And then I decided to jump in. And this was a nice, clean 5-minute pullback, by the way. This is what I was kind of talking about here. And so that's what I jumped in, basically right here. I'll show you guys. I jumped in right here at 455. And the first 5 minutes to make a new high. So the high of this was 455, so I just jumped in because I started seeing the buyers coming in. So I jumped in at 455, but this time I scaled back. Now the reason I scaled back, because I knew I was buying very close to the high of day. See, over here I'm buying at 425 or 427. The high of day is at 448. There's about 20 cents a move before it tests the high of day. Maybe if it did test it and it failed, I still would have walked away with maybe 15 cents, because if it failed and it didn't break it, I would have bailed out. So me jumping in with a bigger position at 455 when the high of day is at 466, that only gives me potential a 10-cent window. So if I'm only my potential reward is only 10 cents, I don't want my risk to be a lot. I want my risk to be small. So if I'm only risking 10 cents in potential to make 10 cents, then I don't want to go in with 1,000 or 2,000 share position. I only want to go in with a small position. So in this, I decided to jump in with 500 shares because that's the lowest I can go, or that's the lowest I have set up on my hotkey. So I jump in quick and I can bail out quick. So I jumped in with 500 shares at 455. It moves up, and that's exactly what happened. It touches 465, but it cannot break the high of day at that point, and it started pulling back. As it pulled back, I kind of gave it couple seconds, just because the way the stock price moves on this, what I watched from kind of this run up, it kind of hangs around that and then it pops. So I kind of gave it couple seconds, I think it was, or maybe a minute. It couldn't, or not a minute, I guess. Yeah, maybe a minute on this, and it just couldn't seem to get over that 466. So when I started seeing some weakness, I decided to bail out on the bid, and I ended up selling at 445. So 500 shares, lost 10 cents, lost $50, and I was okay with it. And then I was done for the day. I didn't take any more trades after that. And you know what? That's fine. And I was very happy with today's trading. I felt like I stayed patient. I went in, and I mean, if this trade could have worked, if it did break 466, I'm in with 500 shares, and it looked like it was going to break 466. I always have the option to add another 500 and bring myself up to 1,000, or maybe add another 2,000, bring myself up to 2,500 shares. My average would have been around 460, maybe 461. If it breaks that, high of day goes to 470, 475 would have been my 475 roughly would have been my next target. So if I jump in, with 2,500 shares at 461 and I get out at 475, I'm locking in, maybe another $250, $300 roughly, right? So that was basically the potential on this trade, the second trade that I take, and I took, and it didn't pan out, and gladly I had a smaller size. I mean, if I had 1,000 shares and I lost at 10 cents, I would have been down 100. Only 500 shares, lost 10 cents, down 500 or $50, sorry, and that's fine by me. I did not regret it. I did not regret the trade. I didn't feel bad about it. I'm not considering it really a loss. I'm just considering it, I attempted something. The market told me I was wrong. I bailed out. I'm okay with it. So, guys, again, this is, I really hope the way I talk and the way I kind of go over my trade kind of gives you some value, and also lets you know about my strategies I'm using, because I'm not trying to hide these strategies. I mean, that's just how they are, and I'm not the first one to discover it. I learned it from someone else, and there's thousands of traders that use these same strategies, and basically the strategy that I use is a momentum strategy, and the best way it works is if you get in at a price level where all these other traders and all the other people will most likely be buying, and if you get in early enough, then you get the advantage of this big move. I mean, when I got in at 426 or 427, I potentially could have gone in with 3,000 shares, and I could have taken advantage of this nice move up, because what happens is if I'm the first one to spot it, or if I'm one of the few to spot it, and I jump in quick enough, then as it starts moving up, other people who are maybe not as experienced, or maybe who are not learn the same strategies, or whatever the case is, will potentially jump in, because they'll realize that the stock, a lot of volumes coming in, people are jumping in, buyers are coming in, maybe shorts are covering, whatever it is, and we start getting this move. You just have to be there early to take advantage of it, and I luckily today I was there early. Same thing yesterday. Go watch my recent video. It's called scalping circuit breaker halts. I just posted it actually, and in that I talk about basically scalping and stuff, whatnot. But also, if you jump in early enough and you basically bought it right here, then you get the advantage of other people coming in. And with yesterday's video or yesterday's trading, I traded CUR, and that's where it happened. I spotted it as it was basically coming up for that red to green move, and I jumped in right away, just because I knew it dipped down. It's coming up, breaking that, the red to green move, breaking the high of day. Now the buyers are coming in, and if you're in early, you get the advantage of that first 10-15 cents quick, and you can basically lock in your profit and get out. And your risk is very minimum. Now, if I spotted this here, maybe I wouldn't have jumped in with 1,000 shares. Maybe I would have been like, well, it's a little risky. Let's just go into 500 shares. If it runs, I'll still manage to take some profit. And even if I get 10 cents, or 5 cents, I'm still walking away if it's a green day or just a green trade, and it's not affecting me as much. So name of the game again with momentum trading is getting in early. So hotkeys and all that stuff matters. Obviously, I'm not equipped with a lot of tools that I think I need. I don't have a high of day momentum scanners and stuff like that. And again, right now I am just paper trading, so I kind of go day by day. Right now I'm just focusing on the strategies, like these kind of things, like how do I spot this? How do I know that this would be the right one? Or how do I know when what weakness looks like, and when do I need to bail out, and so on. So things like that. Obviously by no chance I'm a professional now, and by no chance I think I can go on real live account and do the same things I'm doing right now, because I still need practice. I still need to kind of spend maybe another rest of this month, and I'll see how the rest of this month goes. Maybe I need another 3 months of paper trading, and that is fine by me, because I'm starting to see the value of it. I'm starting to see how these things are coming into my brain now, because every day that I go in front of my computer in the morning, I'm more collective. I'm not even if I only had half an hour in the morning to prep, which I did today. Actually, I only had half an hour in the morning to prep. I am not worried as soon as the market open. I'm not panicking. I'm not looking to make a trade. I'm just kind of calm, collective. I'll see if something sets up. If something gives me the opportunity, I'll jump in. I'm starting to realize that I'm a speculator. I'm speculating all these stocks. I'm speculating the movement. So if I speculate something and it doesn't seem to be doing what I thought it will, I am learning to cut my loss and let it go. Because before, what I would do is like, no, it has to go up. I got in at the right time. It looks like it's gonna go up. Whereas now it's like, I'll give it a couple minutes, just because in trading, especially when you're trading these volatile stocks, you have to give it some time. You have to, give it some room to kind of work out. But you also have to realize where you're seeing weakness. So, if I would have maybe given it more room if it was around here. But I don't want to give it more room, and it already tried to break that high of day and it failed, because that is a sign of weakness. Over here, when I got it and it kind of hung around that part, 425 to 427, 428, I gave it some time, because I knew there's more room to run up. Plus, if it does start falling, if it does start failing, then I know that as soon as that candle goes red, I need to bail out, because that 5-minute breakout or that 5-minute momentum strategy is looking weak. It might just, I might just bail out, and it might fake me out, and then next thing you know, it pops right back up. That's just luck of the draw. Like that, with that, it's nothing personal. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. A lot of traders, what I realized, and what I used to do, or what I still do sometimes, and I'm not perfect at it, or maybe I think I'm doing good right now because I'm on a paper trading account. It's not real money, but I'm starting to realize that I used to feel like it's a personal attack. Like, it didn't happen because I didn't do right, or the markets weren't on my side, or whatever the case is. Now I'm starting to realize the markets are just going to do what it's going to do. It's just a natural movement. So if it fakes me out and I bail out with $100 loss, and it pops right back up and runs to $7, that's just the luck of the draw on this specific trade. I just got faked out, and that was it. Maybe I'll get another opportunity, maybe I won't. But me having to do revenge trading, or trying to fight against the market and be like, no, screw you, why'd you kick me out when I could have made $500, is stupid, because the markets will always win, especially when you revenge trade, or especially when you trade without a proper, calm, collective mind. If you can get in the zone and trade correctly, you will win against the markets, because there's a lot of people who run the markets. Markets are not just run by themselves. There's people like me and you and everyone else that comes collectively, runs the market, and 90% of them, like the stats say, fail. So that means 90% of them make the wrong decision. So if you're calm and collective and patient, you could take advantage of those 90% people and make the right decision, and go away from the market with a green trade, so or with profit. So I think I'm going to end the video here, but I really hope I'm bringing some value to you guys. And if I am, guys, please head over, click the link in my description, and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment if you have any questions or concern or anything that you don't agree with, or if you just want to chat, leave a comment. We'd love to connect with you. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And we'll see each other again tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, so I'm kind of scared because let me quickly show you this, guys, here. Thursday in November, every Thursday I lost money, so I'm very scared for tomorrow. But my goal for tomorrow is walk away green, either walk away neutral or walk away green. Tomorrow, if I have a red day, then I feel like it's just going to become this psychological thing that, oh, Thursday I can't win. So tomorrow I have to have a green day. No pressure though. If I have a red day, you know what, I had a red day, that's fine, I'll bounce back, I'll make up for it. But my goal tomorrow is to be very conservative, very sniper like. I just want to come out like a sniper and take the shot when I think I'm on the target. Anything else than that, I don't want to trade. So but yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching. Here's my Twitter channel here. I linked it to the description there. You guys can check it out. I usually post my stuff. With DPW, I was kind of giving this was a great entry that I missed on that 1 minute pullback, and then I boom, it says waited patiently after missing my first entry, nailed the second leg up, and that was the 5 minute setup. So yeah, guys, please check it out. Leave me a tweet, follow me on Twitter. I also link my personal Instagram. Give me a follow there as well. I usually post on my stories on Instagram, just motivational things, and try to keep everyone going and so on. So thank you for watching, guys, and have a wonderful day. I posted another video just before this, and I'm posting this one now, so 2 videos today. So please watch, and hopefully you guys get something good out of it and learn something good. And yeah, we'll see each other tomorrow. Take care.